Well, good morning. This is Ian R. Crane. It's the morning of Wednesday, 22nd of May, 2019. And once again, it seems that I am totally blocked from hooking the camera up to my Facebook page. So right now, this is going out on YouTube, and I'll have to download it from YouTube and then upload it to Facebook a bit later. So thanks to all those people who are watching this on YouTube, and maybe if somebody can post on my Facebook page that this is where it's going out, then all well and good. Anyway, it's a beautiful spring morning here, and yesterday it was absolutely glorious, and walking up on the moors here on the borders of East Lancashire and Yorkshire, just stunning. And so few people apparently appreciate the beauty of this countryside. It must be so few because we were walking for a couple of hours and barely saw a soul. What's going on? People locked into their computer screens or their phones? Well, we need to get out more. Well, anyway, tomorrow is the people's vote. So I've been hearing for months now about how the people need to have a vote, how the first referendum result can no longer be trusted. So let's have a people's vote. Well, the law of unintended consequences has kicked in again. And, by delaying Brexit to the point where hopefully in her mind she thinks it'll never happen, we get the opportunity to participate in another EU election. And I know there are many, many people who abhor voting, and, basically there's no way they're going to participate in the process. But just bear this in mind, that every non-vote tomorrow is effectively a vote for one of the Remain parties, which is pretty much everybody except UKIP and the Brexit party. Now, that's not necessarily a great thing. Obviously, UKIP and Brexit gonna split the Leave vote, but nonetheless, those two parties are pretty clear at what it says on the tin. Well, I think they are, although Nigel Farage, if he wins, maybe he'll resign at 8 o'clock the following morning. Who knows? Anyway, it's all up in the air. But the bottom line is, here is the people's vote. So it's absolutely essential that those people who do have a vote actually make the effort to get out tomorrow, to take a black pen so that the voting paper can't be messed with. But here is an opportunity to show the treasonous politicians that basically they have so miscalculated here that it is going to be an overwhelming vote for the Leave party, so that every other party is effectively obliterated, and then we'll see what happens. So, the law of unintended consequences is absolutely stunning in the way it works, and those who think they've got a game plan in place, and then the curveball comes in from left field, and goodness knows what they thought they were going to get out of participation in another EU election. Did they really think that the country was going to go, oh my goodness, we better stay in then? No, the country is even more determined to get the hell out. A few of those sort of metros in the southeast maybe want to remain because their noses are deep in the trough, but the reality is that the rest of the country knows exactly how we have suffered collectively at the hands of the totalitarian EU state. So here's an opportunity to get the message across that, we are either out or basically things are going to get ramped up. So, if we don't come out, then I guess the prospect is that the country ends up like France, where every weekend people descend on the cities from all over to create havoc. And, what's going on in France right now is pretty indicative of EU totalitarianism. And if you haven't seen the presentation from Georgia Pouliken from AV10, then I encourage you to go watch it. Georgia is a French lawyer. She was working very much to support the Elevests. She was brutalized by the French authorities in Limoges, and so she made her way to the UK. She spent the weekend with us at AV10, and on the Monday night she delivered an absolutely jaw-dropping presentation. So Georgia is now, for the moment at least, remaining in the UK, primarily because she doesn't feel safe in her home country of France. And I implore you to take the time to watch that presentation, and that's on my YouTube channel. So, you know, somebody's just posted and said to vote in the EU elections is effectively acceptance of the EU. Yes, yeah, I accept that argument, but what do you want to do? You want to stay in? Because if you want to stay in, then don't vote, because every non-vote will effectively be a vote to remain. It is only by getting off your butt and actually getting down to the polling station and putting the X in the appropriate box that sends the message. And you know, if there is not a massive vote to leave, i.e. for the Brexit and UKIP parties, then you know how that's going to be spun by the media. See, the people have had a change of heart and they want to remain in. Don't give them that opportunity. Let's make sure that this is so overwhelming that it ends the debate once and for all, and that whomever it is that is sitting in number 10 gets us out of this totalitarian political construct at the earliest possible opportunity. But then, of course, don't think for one moment that the battle's over, because it's not. And from that point forward, we're going to be dealing with the global corporatists who are looking to effectively take total control of the UK. But at least the politicians will not be able to go, oh, it's not us, it's Brussels. So that, you know, we know whose feet it is that we're holding to the fire. And then if they don't deliver the goods, then we take the appropriate action, which means voting them out. Well, meanwhile, of course, other stuff's going on. Today was the day that Lynn Tyre was facing extradition. Fortunately, that's not going to happen today. And I will be with Lynn tomorrow, and I will hopefully be able to give you an update on what unfolds. Tomorrow is not a date for a mass presence. So, you know, basically hold your fire, but obviously watch my Twitter feed, and if necessary, I'll do an impromptu live broadcast. But I know that the hearts of pretty much everyone watching this are with David and Lynn as they come up to this crunch point. And, you know, one can still hope that there's some kind of divine intervention that means that Lynn does not have to be extradited to France and face potentially 2.5 years in a French jail. And of course, you know, the French authorities are also seeking to get David jailed as well, extradited to France and jailed over there. So, you know, watch this space. And if anybody hasn't yet watched the presentation that David and subsequently Lynn delivered at AV10, then that is also on my my YouTube channel, because it is far too important to hold back. So please take the opportunity and watch those videos. So these are the crucial elements, and then of course you know, come the announcement of the results on Friday of the EU elections, where hopefully it will be a massive slap to both Theresa May and Jeremy Corbyn. The Lib Dems are, you know, pretty much an irrelevance, and you know, obviously the Green, they'll get the token votes. But let's take one factor into account, and that is that the Tories, the Labour Party, the Lib Dems and the Greens are all ardent Remainers. And so, you know, there's no ambiguity, they are Remain. So make sure that your vote is registered to leave. And of course, the other challenge that's coming about then is 5G. And I'm pleased to say that, you know, people are contacting me from all around the UK. I know people are contacting John Kitson and Mark Steele. And the level of interest is ramping up very, very significantly. Of course, they're not out of the woods, because the real estate, i.e. the lampposts are now very much the focus of attention. And the local authorities, although in some cases they've subcontracted or even got into a sort of PFI arrangement with providers for council infrastructure, but here's the opportunity for the local authority to establish their stance on 5G and on LED street lighting. And so once this is over tomorrow, then the focus absolutely needs to be holding your councillors and the officers of those councils to account. Download your constitution, your council's constitution, identify who is responsible for the health and safety and the well-being of the residents of your local area, and get on their case. Well, meanwhile, I'm not sure what's occurring here. It seems that YouTube are somehow limiting the reach of this live transmission this morning. And as for Facebook, the camera apparently is just not able to hook in, and that's the second day this week that's occurred. So, God damn it, if I was a conspiracy theorist. Anyway, on that note, you have a great day. Enjoy this beautiful weather. And meanwhile, check out where your polling station is tomorrow and get down there early and register your vote. The people's vote to get the hell out of the EU totalitarian police state. You have a great day.